It was another late night for fact-checkers who had to sift through some heated exchanges like this one in last night's final presidential debate.
I said these companies need to go through a managed bankruptcy, and in that process, they can get government help and government guarantees.
Governor Romney, that's not what you said.
Fortunately, you can take a look
Governor
at the op-ed.
Romney, you
can take a look at the op-ed.
You did not say that you would provide governor help.
Let's bring in Lori Robertson, who is the managing editor of factcheck.org. Good morning.
Good morning.
So who was right in that exchange over the auto bailout?
Well, Romney was right. Obama was wrong. Indeed, if you look back at Romney's 2008 op-ed, he argued against the bailout, but he argued for a managed bankruptcy with federal guarantees for post-bankruptcy financing. So a federal loan guarantee for the post-bankruptcy financing would indeed be government help.
They also tangled over test scores. Mitt Romney has said this before. 4th and 8th graders were first in the nation in math and English when he was governor. Let's listen.
Well, Republicans and Democrats came together on a bipartisan basis to put in place education principles that focused on having great teachers in the classroom.
10 years
and
earlier.
That was what allowed us to become the #1 state in the nation.
But that was 10 years before you took office.
Absolutely.
And then you cut education spending when you came into office.
Was it before he took office, and did he cut education spending?
Yes. Actually, the law that's largely credited with those great test scores for 4th and 8th graders is a 1993 education law that emphasized test scores and also increased funding. And those 4th and 8th graders, they were scoring at or near the top of the nation before Romney took office, and they've remained there since. As for cutting the education budget, Romney did do that when he came into office, but it is worth noting that the state had faced a budget gap, and the Democratic legislature also proposed cuts to close that gap.
And, of course, famously now, Mitt Romney blasted the president over the size of our Navy.
Our Navy is smaller now than any time since 1917. The Navy said they needed 313 ships to carry out their mission. We're now down to 285. We're headed down to the low 200s if we go through with sequestration. That's unacceptable to me. I want to make sure that we have the ships that are required by our Navy.
And that led to horses and bayonets, which was the most tweeted moment of the night. But did Governor Romney get his numbers right?
No, actually, he was wrong. We're at 282 ships in 2012. That's a slight increase from 2007, so we're not at the lowest point since 1917. Now, back in 1917, we had 342 ships, but, comparing those older ships to today's ships just isn't the same thing. The Navy Secretary remarked earlier this year that comparing today's ships to those in years past was like comparing the telegraph to the smartphone.
And we always look for zingers in these debates, so here was one from last night.
Governor Romney, I'm glad that you recognize that al-Qaeda is a threat, because a few months ago, when you were asked what's the biggest geopolitical threat facing America, you said Russia. Not al-Qaeda, you said Russia. And the 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back, because the Cold War has been over for 20 years.
Give us the fact check on that one.
Sure. Obama's wrong on this one. What Romney said, he called Russia our #1 geopolitical foe. And in the same interview, you said that the greatest threat, which was the president's word last night, was a nuclear Iran.
Lori Robertson, good to see you. Thank you so much. And thank you for staying up late and putting it all together for us.
Thank you.